Good morning, everyone. My name is Kola. Since there won't be any sermon, so you can call me Pastor Kola just for a few minutes. Okay. So I've been asked to talk about the faithfulness of God in my life and in the life of my family. So I'd like to start with a story. So you see, when Moses came down from the mountain, everyone began to wonder if the chairs in the table were the same thing as the glasses that Kevin was talking about. So the first thing that happened was that everyone started realizing that it was all fake. And it was real at the same time. Do you understand my story? Yeah, I thought you wouldn't understand my story. Because I wasn't actually telling a story. I was talking rubbish. So, the essence of that introduction is to, just the way it was difficult for you to understand what I was saying. For us as believers, it is difficult for us to understand God's faithfulness because it is deeper than you would ever think. For me personally, reflecting on my life consistently, to remember the many instances of how good it's been to me reinforces my appreciation of God's unwavering faithfulness. The Bible says in Psalm 103 verse 2 that we should, it says, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not his benefits." Then the psalmist goes on to talk about the benefits, So I'm going to try, I'm going to attempt to talk about some of the benefits of God in my life. You see, on Saturday, October 3rd, 1992, I was in the company of my parents and my 3 younger siblings. 6 of us, the entire family, were crammed in my dad's Datsun 120Y sedan. And on that trip, we were almost involved in what would have been a fatal car crash. The whole family could have perished. But God was faithful. He kept us. And that day, left me with something to remember for a lifetime. And then talking about our journey to the U.S., on Sunday, May 7th, 2017, I spoke for the first time with a former colleague of mine. I tried to inquire how he managed to move to the U.S. And this is the weird part. 3 weeks later, I'd gotten a student visa. And then a week after, my 2 older sons had also gotten, my wife and my 2 older sons had also gotten their visas. For those who are international people, they will understand what that means. Within 1 month, after I spoke with him, we all had visas. And so on August 2nd, 2017, we left Nigeria for the USA. We left our good paying jobs to start a life of adventure, a life full of uncertainties. In fact, there were moments, especially in those early days, when I felt, what were we thinking? How could we have done this to ourselves? It was difficult. But God's faithfulness, always pulled through. Now, last month, my wife and I celebrated our 15th wedding anniversary. Yeah. It's been an adventure. We have celebrated many victories, but we've also had our share of challenges. But God has been faithful. Today, we are blessed with 3 wonderful boys. In fact, last month, our first of 3 sons celebrated his 14th birthday. He's a freshman in high school today. And when my carnal mind wants me to see the things that God hasn't done, I'm reminded that through that first seed that we were blessed with, God has been faithful. Today, after 6 years in the U.S., I have a master's in computer information systems from a U.S. school. I'm a licensed life insurance agent. I may be knocking on your door one of these days. And I'm also an IT business analyst. My wife completed a nursing program, and she's a registered nurse. Talk about a banker who became a registered nurse. Our family has increased by the addition of a baby in 2020. By the way, it turns 4 tomorrow. Yes, he's a New Year's baby. And then last year, December, we got our permanent, resident card. We're permanent residents of the US. And this year, we bought our first house. I've shared all these things just to emphasize how God's faithfulness has been throughout my life. And I'm wondering, somebody's thinking, maybe because I have been faithful, that's why God has been faithful. No. The Bible says in 2 Timothy 2:3 that if we are unfaithful, he remains faithful because he cannot deny himself. So God's faithfulness is not dependent on my own faithfulness. He's just faithful nonetheless. I hope this ministers to someone, and I thank you all for listening. Thank you.